Iowa State was in the Big 12 championship game, and in large parts due to their offense. The Cyclones were absolutely awesome on the offensive side of the ball. Whether it be on the ground or through the air, the beautiful thing about this offense was that they mostly funneled their offense through two very good wide receivers who looked to be solid NFL prospects. One player who is on a lot of teams' radar is wide receiver Jayden Higgins. Higgins had an incredible season for Iowa State and has skyrocketed up my draft board from where he was this summer. Higgins was a player who I was a lot lower on, but he has balled out and could hear his name called really early in the 2025 NFL Draft. How high could he get taken, and how high will he hear his name called? That is what we will be discussing in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon page, where for $5 a month, you guys will get exclusive access to my in-depth draft guide and big board. It has over 500 prospects and counting, and it is some of the best work I have put together. You guys will also be given the opportunity to vote on which prospects you guys want to see in a future prospect spotlight like this one. Leave a comment and let me know which players you want to see, and without further ado, let's get into it. Higgins started his collegiate career at the FCS level, playing for Eastern Kentucky. That is one thing I think a lot of scouts are going to appreciate about Higgins, is that he had to work up to the FBS level, and he didn't just start as this multi-star recruit. But he joined the Cyclones in 2023 and immediately became the #1 weapon. He had 53 receptions for 983 yards and 6 touchdowns last year, and was a big sleeper entering this season. 2024 was an even more productive year for Higgins. He finished the season with 87 receptions for 1,185 yards and 9 touchdowns on the year, and is poised to be a big breakout star at the Senior Bowl in February. The first thing that really sticks out with Higgins is his fantastic size. He is 6'4", 210 pounds, and he has an absolutely elite frame for the wide receiver position. But one of my favorite things is that he is a lot more versatile than you would expect. He took snaps on both the slot as well as on the boundary, and he can play both inside and outside with very intriguing upside. 29% of his snaps came in the slot, while 70.9% of his snaps came on the boundary. I love that versatility from Higgins. Another thing that Higgins does really well is his body control. He does an awesome job of playing through physicality and winning 50-50 balls. Quarterback Rocco Becht loved to throw back shoulder fades to Higgins, and he did an incredible job of contorting his body midway through the air and positioning himself for the catch. He is just a super reliable weapon and a guy who catches virtually everything. He had a 56% contested catch rate in 2024, and he just doesn't drop the football. He has 7 drops in his collegiate career on 351 targets, which is absolutely absurd. He's going to be a reliable weapon for any quarterback at the next level. Higgins is also a super solid route runner. I wouldn't say he creates a ton of separation, but he does a super nice job of getting open. The short to intermediate game was where he likes to work the most. Whether it be on slants, on short crossers, he had exceptional quickness when breaking out of his routes, and he got his hands up for the quarterback. I also thought he had really good zone IQ and was a very smart player. He just knew where to find the soft spots in zone coverage, turned around and made himself available for the quarterback, which is a rare trait for young receivers. Higgins is not a perfect wide receiver prospect by any means, and there are some concerns that I have in his game, the biggest of which is his long speed. He's not the fastest guy in the world, and it didn't feel like he really had the burners to win deep. His short area burst and quickness are certainly there, but he didn't have the ability to win deep. He also didn't have the release package to necessarily create a ton of space and press coverage, and I think that could cause problems for him at the next level because cornerbacks are able to stay glued to his hip on one-on-one coverage. He is rumored to run around a 4.5, and that's just going to cause him to slip down draft boards. As a blocker, he's not providing too much in that area. He takes some bad angles, and he doesn't hold up super well in the blocking game. It's not an area I'm too concerned about, but definitely an area to note when it comes to Higgins. Higgins is a really interesting wide receiver prospect in this class. Yes, he has some really great size for the position, he can run routes well, and he has super great hands, but he isn't the most explosive athlete in the world, and he's not an incredible separator. He is one of the tougher evaluations in this class because he's got some stuff, but he's also missing some other really important tools as well, but he was able to sneak into my top 10 receivers, just in at the number 9 spot. His size is rare, and I think he can be a legitimate game changer at the next level if teams are able to utilize him correctly. He is my number 50 overall player in the draft class. In terms of a scheme fit, I love the versatility that he shows. He could be a big slot for a team, but I think with the size at 6'4", he's probably going to profile best as an X wide receiver. A big-time weapon with a big catch radius who can run an array of routes and get open across the middle of the field. He's going to be a really solid player to watch and going to be a go-to weapon on the outside for a team. My player comparison for Jayden Higgins is Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Drake London. Both Higgins and London have nearly identical frames on the outside, with large catch radius and excellent body control. Neither of them are necessarily the most explosive athletes in the world, but do a good job of leveraging their size and route running to win with their body. I think Higgins can be a very similar type of player as Drake London at the next level, and they are both incredible contested catch receivers as well. Jayden Higgins is the next Drake London. He has size, route running, and good quickness when breaking out. He's going to be a super solid weapon at the next level, even without the long speed, especially with his versatility, and ultimately, I believe that Jayden Higgins will be a top 50 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.